What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. This one's a little different. If you already saw the cover photo, refinished some valve covers. Factory valve covers off of a 83 or 84 GT Mustang, probably 85 as well. I don't even know where I got them from. They came either with something I bought or somebody handed them to me and said, "Here, take them." Who knows? Actually, I think I got them for my fiance's Mustang, the one we were putting together. I think a buddy of mine gave them to me off of his 80. I think it was an 84 GT. Now I think about it. So that's probably where I got them from, and I kept them. I've been sitting in the parts washer for 2 or 3 years, maybe even 4. See how they turned out. Not too bad. Pretty nice looking for a 40-year-old set of valve covers. This engine ain't really going to do them much justice here, but did them in GM satin black engine paint and sanded the fins down and polished them. They're not perfect. You can see a couple low spots I put in them because I started to get impatient with the grinder. I used a grinder and a flap disc to take the paint back off, and I was more patient on this one, so this one turned out a little bit better. But I started getting excited seeing them come to life, and like an idiot, I wanted to see them done, and they got some low spots in them, but on the car, probably not really going to notice it too much. So I'm content with how they turned out. And honestly, if I didn't point it out to you, you probably wouldn't really be able to tell or know. Some of them aren't me, believe it or not. Some of it's either how they were casted or from being old, you know, the aluminum wearing down. But like this one right here is actually a low spot factory. That wasn't from me. That was already like that. And there's another one somewhere in one of the corners. But it turned out really nice. I did the breather, which that kind of I didn't care too much about. But you can see I hit it a little too much on the side. But and then I did this factory cap, which is they're probably going to get changed, but I just did them because why not? This is a motorsport cap, so I thought it was kind of cool, you know, for now I'll use it, and then later on I'll switch them out. Try to be as honest with you guys as possible and show you the flaws, because I'm going to be honest with you, none of this stuff's perfect when you look at it. I mean, some of these guys, they're anal. Some of them have OCD, and they go nuts, and they'll get the low spots out, and they'll take their time. Some of these guys build really nice stuff. But, I mean, I've seen show cars with stuff, and you look at it and you go, how would you even, why? What were you thinking? This is going on a car that it's going to get driven. It's not a showpiece. It's just something that needs to look presentable. And for me, for when I raise the hood, if I go to a show, you look at it and it just looks like a nice stock little motor. That's all I'm really looking for. You might not even really see these valve covers by the time I put the snorkel on it, the little air breather with the dual snorkels. Because that's how I'm going to do it, you know. Probably refinish the engine in Ford Blue. The intake, I'm doing that. You guys will see that later this week when it's painted. And even that, I'm not taking the paint off, the old paint. You can see it's not perfect. I'm probably going to just spray right over that thing. You might say, well, why are you going to spray over it? Why aren't you going to take that down and blend that in and sand it and make it nice? You're going to paint it. Stuff's temporary. And I'm the type where I might get bored with it and say, you know what, let me change that. Let me put a different set of valve covers on it. Stuff can get changed or it can be redone. If I really wanted to take my time and sand the ripples out of these valve covers, I could. But I just want them on the car. It's better than the chrome crappy ones that are on it right now. So when I do the intake, put the valve covers on with it. 750, like I said, is going back on it. The 1-inch spacer. And then I'll put the dual snorkel on it. Little air cleaner. Gotta clean that up. Who knows, maybe I'll even refinish this. Paint the base and stuff, because, you know, it's a little rough, but and it's gray. Maybe I'll do that satin black to match the valve covers and polish the lid up. Pretty cool little piece, though. Usually run air cleaners and stuff, but and I'm not going to even put an element in that. It's just going to be open. But I actually thought about getting foam, putting something inside of it and raising the lid up so that way it can suck air through the foam and through the snorkel. But I'm undecided how I'm going to do it. I thought about plumbing it into the grill somehow, if I could fit it between the radiator, trying to make like a true ram air out of it. I don't know, we'll see. A lot of options. For now, I just want to get it on the car and, you know, make it look neat when you raise the hood. It's like, oh, look, a little Mustang motor in it. Poor little defenseless Mustang motor. Little will they know, when that thing got the stick in it, boys, you scoot a little bit. Like I said, I think I have an idea what the car will do, and I think it'll, trying to show you guys how easy it is to get one of these things to go in the 12s. As little as possible. I mean, some of the stuff I got laying around, valve covers ain't going to help nothing, but intake I had laying around, not using it, it's sitting on the floor, might as well use it. Carburetor had laying around, not using it, sitting on the floor with the intake, might as well put it to use. So this is all stuff, don't take nothing fancy. You know, the carburetor is a nice carburetor, don't get me wrong, I bought it new, but it's one of those deals where you could get a 750 or a 650 used for $100. Throw a rebuild kit in it for $100 or $50, whatever they cost now. A couple things of carb cleaner. Take your time, go through it. You know, you have $200 into a carburetor, and the thing it'll run just as good. You know, 650 would be ideal. I don't have a 650. I'm using what I got. Hence the 750. I got a 600. We're gonna try that. But, like I said, using what I got. You know, I'm not going to go out and buy a carburetor when I have two of them here. Yeah, they might be the wrong size for what I prefer. I prefer a 650. But, you know, later on, if I decide I want to put heads on it or port a set of heads, that 750 will come in handy. So, I am going to try to find a cam still. If I could find, like, an Alphabet cam. Not a big fan of the B cams, but if I get like a F cam or E cam or a Lunati, I'd really like to find a Lunati. I like the numbers on Lunatis. If I could find like a 512 lift Lunati, I don't think they make it anymore. A friend of mine had one a couple years ago. That was really nice. But if I could find that cam that he had, that would be the one I would like. I think it was 512 on both sides with a split duration and a 110 or 112 lobe separation. So that cam would be really... I think it would work really well with the setup that's in the car and the setup that's going on it with the stick, the gear I plan to put in it, all that. So, it is hot. Even though it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, it is muggy. I'm sweating. So, I wanted to show you these valve covers. If you guys got a set of old valve covers up there, These things turn out really nice. I like the Powered by Ford ones, the factory Mustang valve covers. They're nothing crazy, nothing special. Just a stock valve cover that came on the cars, but you can finish them and make them nice. There's a couple ways you could do them. You could polish them all out, or do them like how I did them with the black and the polished ribs, or you could even paint the ribs. But I'm not gonna say it's necessarily easy to do. It's time consuming, but take your time. I didn't do no real crazy prep work. I hit them with a scuff pad, cleaned them first, hit them with a scuff pad, and then shot them with paint. I didn't sand them and make them all smooth. I just took the scuff pad all around them, made sure it had basically like a nice cross hatch in them, and shot them with the engine paint. That paint's pretty thick when it goes on. It layers nice. Fills halfway decent. As long as you don't have no deep grooves or nothing, they won't show through. But just a maroon Scotch-Brite pad on the aluminum. Make sure there's no oil or no oil substances on them. Get them clean. Like I power washed these and then hit them with the Scotch-Brite pad. So I shot them with the black. Dust them first, and then get thick, layer them nice. When you do the ribs, it's a little tricky because you got to go in from both angles, front to back or top to bottom, however you want to say it. And that way you get all the crevices and everything, but you don't want to put it on super thick. You want to layer it nice, so that way it fills, it sticks, and it turns out good. So, and then you sand them either by hand, or if you're careful, you could use something to, cookie pad or something on them and to take the paint back off. You could even use brake cleaner on a rag. The only thing is with that, if you spray it real thick on the rag and you wipe it and you push too hard, it'll leak down and it might take the paint when it drips. So you just gotta be careful doing it with either like a gas. You could use gasoline or brake cleaner, but carb cleaner isn't as abrasive, so you gotta kind of scrub it a little bit more, but it will dull the paint out if it drips down. Same with gasoline, but just a couple tricks figure I'd share with you guys, so that way, if you got an old set of valve covers laying around, you've been thinking about trying to refinish them, maybe you're skeptical of doing it. Pretty simple. You're probably going to be harder on yourself than what most people will be when they see them, because you're going to notice every imperfection, every flaw. If I saw these on an engine, I'd be like, man, there's some nice valve covers, but since they're mine, I know I look at them like, man, kind of wish I took my time, so, but I mean, they look about as good in the video as they do in person, so, I'm just being hard on myself because I know every flaw in that valve cover. So, just have fun doing it. Take your time. Sometimes when you work slow, it ends up being faster than rushing it. Hence, what I got. So, do a better job than me. But, I'm honestly happy with how they look compared to what they did look like. They looked... If you go look at the cover photo, you'll see them. And they're just, they're dull. Ugly. I'll post another picture of them at the end of the video, too. So if you want to skip to that, you can. But, they were worse than what the actual picture is that I'm going to share. There's 2 pictures of before. And, I'll probably show all the pictures, actually, before, middle, end. But they were actually worse than that. They had dirt and oil and everything on them when I power washed them. It was like, oh wow, these actually cleaned up halfway decent considering. So that's what you're going to see. You're going to see after they were power washed and all the oil and crap is off of them for the most part. So they actually looked worse than that. So if that gives you any idea of what you can turn it into, You can you can polish a turd. I'll just say it that way. You can polish a turd. I got enough of them here that you can see you can polish a turd. Whoever said you can't, they didn't know what they were talking about. Can definitely polish a turd. So, that's what we're going to do with this wagon. We're going to polish a turd. That's what we've been doing. It was a turd when I got it, and I'm just polishing it up. That's all. Making it look presentable. That thing was gaudy. I hated how that car looked. I wanted to paint it so bad. You guys have no idea. I could not handle how that car looked. That's coming around now, so I still got some more stuff to do. Some stuff I want to black out on the car still, around the windows and things like that. Intake's coming. Stay tuned for that. Going out of my zone on that. Usually I'm a black or aluminum guy. I'm going to paint it a different color this time. And this motor is going to be a little different than what I usually do. Like the ribbed valve covers or finned valve covers, I usually go for like fabricated or, you know, just the standard style valve cover. But doing this one a little different with the air cleaner. Powered by Ford valve covers. Let's see if you can guess what color the intake's going to be. So, give you a hint. I'm going for a stock look. Put it down in the comments what you think it's going to be. And then I'll post the video when it's done this week. Paint should be here this week, hopefully. So, we'll see. I ordered it. Could have went to AutoZone and got it, but I ordered it offline. So I had to get the intake gaskets, which AutoZone or Advanced don't stock anymore. So you have to order them offline. Can't even get them for an F-150 or an Explorer, which is usually my trick. But, they don't have none of that 302 stuff in stock anymore, at least over here. So, I had to order them offline. I had to get carburetor studs anyway. And, studs, gaskets, and paint. That's what I got. So, hopefully it'll all be here this week. I'll get the intake painted, get it on the car, and we'll see what this thing can do. Hopefully it'll look a little bit better, nicer under the hood, and perform better. We'll see. So, I'm going to go in, get some AC, sit with the cats, watch an episode of something on Netflix. That being said, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. And if you like this content, if you're new, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Got some more stuff coming for you guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.